Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 4 of unit number 6 applications of partial differential equation. In this lecture we are going to start with the second application, one dimensional heat flow equation. Okay, so in this particular application we are going to discuss the concept of heat flow, and there are two cases we are going to discuss heat flow equations. One is one dimensional first case and second is two dimensional, that is also called as Laplace equation. So very first we'll understand what type of equations we are having of one dimensional heat flow equations, and then like first application wave equations we are going to solve this type of equations using again initials and boundary conditions. Okay, and again this is one dimensional equation, so it is like our wave equation only. In wave equation we have a stretch string in front of us which is placed along x-axis. Okay, and then we disturb that string to get vibrations, and that gives us the waves there, right? And that that deflection in that string from the equilibrium position, we call it as displacement, right? And we denote it by u of x comma t. It depends on two variables, one on the value of x and one on the value of t time. Okay, so like that here also we are having one dimensional equation, but only the case is changed to heat flow. Instead of having waves there, we'll have here heat flow. Okay, so for that purpose we have considered a homogeneous heat conducting rod or bar of length L. So some bar or rod we are going to consider of length L, like string. In wave equation we have considered a string, okay, of length L. Here we'll have a bar or rod through which heat is flowing, placed along x-axis again, like a string only. Take one end at x equal to 0, that is at origin, and other end is at x equal to L distance. If you are having a bar of length L, then at origin its value of x will be 0, and the length at this second boundary point will be L. The direction of the heat flow is along the positive x-axis. Means your heat through this bar or rod will flow from origin to the second boundary point, okay, in that direction, and that direction is the direction of positive x-axis. Then here we are going to denote u of x comma t be the temperature. Okay, in heat flow problem we'll denote u of x comma t by temperature. In wave equation problem we denote u of x comma t is the displacement or deflection, okay, from the equilibrium position. Here u of xt has meaning the temperature. Okay, the temperature depends upon the value of x at different x. These are horizontal values. Horizontal points are the values of x at different x at different time t. You will have different temperatures. Means this temperature depends upon the distance as well as on time. So this denotes the temperature of rod at any time t greater than 0. Time always we consider positive, t greater than 0 from origin. Then u of x comma t satisfies the partial differential equation. So this temperature satisfies this particular partial differential equation in the case of heat flow problems, and it is again a partial differential equation, del u by del t equal to c square del 2u by del x square. This is like wave equation only in wave equations we had here del 2u by del t square. Here we have first order derivative instead of second order. The most general solution in the wave equation also we have considered the most general solution. Here also we have the most general solution, u of x comma t equal to c1 cos mx plus c2 sin mx, the same bracket we had there in wave equation as well, into here e raised to minus c square m square t. This c square is the value of this constant, okay, c square m square t. Okay, so here we have only two arbitrary constant in the solution, right? So in wave equation we had there four arbitrary constants, and for eliminating that four arbitrary constants we have used what, boundary conditions and initial conditions. So here also we are going to have some conditions with us for eliminating these constants, but the number of constants is only two here. Okay, we just have to eliminate two arbitrary constants. Fine. So by using two or three conditions will be enough for determining the final answer. To solve one-dimensional heat flow equation 1, we use these conditions, these type of conditions. In problem, they will provide you directly the conditions sometimes, and sometimes the problem they give in the form of word form, right? So both type of problem we have discussed in wave equation as well. If directly conditions are in front of us, then directly you can start calculating your answer, and whenever the conditions are not given, then from the given data you need to write the conditions. But in every problem you will get this type of conditions. The first two are the initial conditions that depends upon the time. For every time t, u of xt is finite. This is the first condition. U of xt is the temperature at at any point x. So the temperature has to be finite for any t. Okay. If even if your t is tending to infinity, infinite time, your u will tends to 0. If you see the solution, right? If you see this solution, then you can see that as t tends to infinity, this here will have e raised to minus infinity, means it is becoming 0. So temperature is tending towards 0 whenever we are reaching to towards infinite time. So u of xt will be finite from this condition, first condition, for any t. Okay. The second condition, second initial condition, when time t is 0, your initial temperature will be some function of x. Initially they will provide you some temperature at t equal to 0. Okay. When time is 0, don't get confused, this t is not temperature. This t is time, u is temperature. Temperature will be some function of x when time initially t equal to 0. And two more conditions, we call them as boundary condition. These two are initial condition that depends upon time, and these two conditions depends upon the values of x, the boundary points of x. So first boundary point is 0, second boundary point is L, that length. At both points we are having 0 temperature. Okay. At end points of the rod, as there in wave equation we don't have any kind of deflection in the case of wave equation at boundary points. So likewise here also we don't have any temperature at boundary points. Okay, that is the meaning of boundary conditions. So these conditions also remain fixed for every problem. Only this condition may change your value of f of x. Accordingly your calculations are going to change. And compared to wave equation, the solution of this equation we get in quick time, because only two constants we have to eliminate. So one problem I have written here. So let us start solving example. So this is a wave equation. On the left hand side we have first order derivative with respect to t. On the right hand side we are having second order derivative with respect to x. So one derivative of order 1, one derivative of order 2. It is a heat equation, one dimensional. And the value of c square, here c square is 1. So in the solution, the most general solution while doing calculation will take c square as 1 there. And the condition, if you see, if first condition is u is finite for every time t. U means temperature is finite for every time t. That is your first condition. Then u is 0, means temperature is 0 when x equal to 0 and pi. So at x equal to 0 and x equal to pi, the temperature is given as 0. These are the boundary conditions. Both conditions are written in one equation. Here the value of u is pi into x minus x square when t is 0. So when initially time is 0, initial temperature is a function of x. This is the value of f of x, pi x minus x square, and this is valid for 0 less than x less than equal to pi, and that is the only length of that bar or rod we are having here, 0 to pi. Okay, so let us start solving this example. So very first I will write the given equation, which is del u by del t, del 2u by del x square. We can give this equation number 1. Now let us write the most general solution, okay, of this equation. The most general solution is of equation 1 is u of x comma t equals to c1 cos mx plus c2 sin mx into e to the power minus c square m square t. Here you can write that c square is 1. Therefore this solution can be written as u of x comma t is equal to c1 cos mx plus c2 sin mx e to the power minus m square t. I'll give this equation number 2. This is the most general solution of the given problem. Now let us start using the conditions. Okay, so very first we'll use the boundary condition number 1. So by condition number 2, that is boundary condition I am using. First boundary condition, u of 0 comma t equal to 0, okay, or 0 less than x less than pi. So put x equal to 0 here, so we'll get 0 equal to sine 0 is 0, so cos 0 is 1, so c1 into e raised to minus m square t. Okay, so what this will give, e raised to minus m square t is not 0 clearly, because if you take that as 0, entire equation will become 0. So this implies c1 equal to 0, as e raised to minus m square t is not equal to 0. So first constant we have eliminated, c1 as 0. So your solution will get reduced, okay, as c1 is 0, your value of u of xt will become, u of xt will be, c1 is 0, so it will be c2 sine mx e is to minus m square t. Okay, now only one constant remains that we have to eliminate. So let us use the next condition. By condition 2 only, second boundary conditions we are going to use here. In wave equation we have different form. First we use boundary condition, then initial condition, then boundary condition, then initial condition. Here we use both boundary conditions, okay, and we eliminate constants, because the first condition that u is finite, that we never use in problem. This one we use these two conditions, and then the last condition, third one, okay, only three conditions we use. By condition 2, when u is pi, x is pi, sorry, at that time also temperature is 0, u of pi comma t at boundary point, second boundary point, for 0 less than x less than pi. So this will imply, put x equal to pi, so we'll get here 0 equal to c2 sine m pi e raised to minus m square t. Now again here we have multiplication of three quantities, 0, c2 0, c2 into sine m pi into e raised to minus m square t. So one of them has to be 0, and here we get sine m pi equal to 0, as c2 is not equal to 0. If c2 is 0, then solution will become 0. Sine m e raised to minus m square t is also not 0, so sine m pi is the 0. Okay, so sine m pi equal to 0 means m pi equal to what? N pi. Okay, the angle has to be n pi, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. 0 even if you consider, doesn't matter, but series we are going to start from 1 to infinity. For 0 we are going to get 0 term, so we are considering here only from 1 to 3 up to infinity. So m pi equal to n pi, this will imply m equal to n. So what value of m we have obtained from the second boundary condition? It is n. Therefore your uxt become, your solution will become c2 sine, instead of mx it will be nx e raised to minus n square t instead of m square t. So this will be the form, and n starts from 1 to infinity. So we are having here infinitely many solutions, okay, for n equal to 1, n equal to 2. We are going to combine all them like we did in wave equation. On combining all the solutions, uxt can be written in the form of a series and ranges from 1 to infinity. We are adding all the solutions, and the constants we are going to denote by bn now. Sine nx e raised to minus n square t. This will be your equation number next 3. Now only one constant we need to eliminate. For that we are going to use the last condition, okay. This bn we have to calculate. So for that we are going to use the last condition. By condition 3 in problem, it is u of x comma 0. When t is 0, u of x 0 is pi x minus x square, for 0 less than equal to x less than equal to pi. Now after using this condition in this equation 3, the left hand side, if you put t equal to 0, left hand side will be ux 0, which is pi x minus x square. Right hand side e raised to 0 1, bn sine x will be as it is. So this type of series will get there, okay, and which is a half range sine series. It contains only terms of sine and the coefficient bn, okay. So this is like half range sine series for the of the function this pi x minus x square for the interval 0 to pi, okay. And as we are having the interval 0 to pi, the formula of bn will be 2 by pi 0 to pi, the function which whose Fourier series is there, phi x minus x square, into f of x into sine nx. Here we have n pi x by L when interval is 0 to L. Here we have 0 to pi, so only sin nx. Okay. Now let us do this integration by using u into v rule, because this is a polynomial function, this is trigonometric functions. So by u into v rule, we'll get this as pi x minus x square as it is. Integration of sin nx is minus cos nx by n minus derivative of this bracket, it is pi minus 2x, integration of this bracket again, so minus sin nx by n square, plus third term derivative of this bracket minus 2, integration of this bracket minus sines integration is minus, so minus minus plus cos nx by one more n, so it will be n cube. Next derivative is 0, so your integration will stop here and the limit is from 0 to pi. Now put upper and lower limit to get the final value of bn. If you put upper limit pi, here you will get pi square minus pi square, that becomes 0. Here you will get sin n pi, that is also 0. Here you will get cos n pi, so 0 minus 0 minus 2 into cos n pi by n cube minus lower limit. If you put 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 0 into anything 0, sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1, minus 2 by n cube will remain. Now 2 by n cube we can take common. This is the plus 2 by n cube, this is minus 2 by. 2 by n cube will take outside, so it will become 4, bn will be 4 pi n cube, 4 by pi n cube, in bracket this is plus 1 and this is minus cos n pi. Again cos n pi value we know it is minus 1 raised to n, therefore bn is, bn becomes, bn is 4 by pi n cube 1 minus 1 raised to n. Okay, and after using the value of n in that series u of x comma t, will get the value as summation n ranges from 0 to infinity, this is the bn into sin nx into e raised to minus n square t. In this equation we put finally the value, the series we have obtained after combining all the solution. Okay, here we have to substitute that bn, and that I have substituted, this is the final answer. So this is quite similar to wave equation problem, but these problems are more easier than the wave equation problems. Okay, and the calculation is also similar because similar type of conditions we have in almost every problem. So in coming lecture I am going to do more examples on heat flow equation, and I will give you some problem for practice as well. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. Hope you have understood today's discussion. Okay, thank you.